Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today, inshallah Rahman, we will discuss about verb. A verb is a word used to express an action. Here I will write it. A verb is a word used to express an action or state, or both. So this is a verb is a word that's used to express an action or state or both action and state. State means status, condition, position. Okay. On the basis of this, the verb is divided into two categories. First one is action verbs, and second one is stative verbs or state verbs. Stative verbs, these are also called state verbs. My dear students, as far as these action verbs are concerned, these actually describe an action or physical activities or physical processes. So the words that express physical action is physical processes that are called action verbs. For example, run, walk, talk, grow, etc. As far as these state verbs are concerned, these actually describe a status. States means a condition. States means a condition. So these describes a status. These describe a status or quality of something, or quality of something. For example, believe, think, trust, realize, own, belong, etc. These are all the examples of these stative verbs. My dear students, one thing you have to remember, you should remember that there is a difference between action verbs and stative verbs. That there is a rule that state verbs cannot be used in these stative verbs or state verbs. They cannot be used in ing form, continuous form. The difference between this action verbs and stative verbs are that stative verbs can not be used in ing form. So they do not have continuous form. They cannot be used in ing form. So this is the difference between this stative verbs and action verbs. For example, now examples. First, I will give you examples of action verbs, because I have told you that action verbs, these are those verbs that express physical activities or physical and this processes. They are called action verbs, like run, walk, talk, play, etc. These are all action verbs. My dear students, and I already told you that action verbs can be used with or without ing. Okay, but stative verbs or state verbs, they do not have ing form. They cannot be used in ing form or continuous form. This point you should remember. Okay, now I will give you examples of action verbs. I have told you that they can be used with or without ing form. For example, I play football. Here the verb, this is an action verb because it shows a physical process. This is an action verb. Here it has been used without ing. Okay. Another example, I am playing football. Here again, this is an action verb. This has been used as an action verb, but here its ing form has been used. So action verbs can be used without or with ing form. But as far as stative verbs are concerned, they cannot be used in ing form. For example, now I will give you an examples of state verbs. For example, I trust him. I trust him. This is a state verb because it shows. I have already told you that this Stative verbs are state verbs describe a status. Status means a condition or quality of something. Here, trust. This is a stative verb. Okay, this describes a status, that is condition of something. Okay, here I trust him. This is correct. I cannot write it like this. I am trusting him. I am trusting him. No, this is incorrect because I have already told you that state verbs cannot be used in ing form. They don't have continuous form. So this difference you should remember. My dear students, there are certain words that can be used both as state verbs or action verbs. Okay. For example, some verbs can be both action and stative verbs. For example, feel, look, have, smell. And these verbs can be both action and stative verbs or state verbs. You should remember these words. Okay, mind, way, etc. Okay. For example, feel की मैं आपको यहाँ पे example दूंगी. Feel. I have already told you that these can be used both as action verbs and state verbs. I am feeling tired. Here this has been used as an action verb. Why? Because here an activity is going on. That's why it has been used as an, I have told you that this is an action verb here. Okay, here it has been used as an action verb. And second, another important thing is that I have told you that action verbs have ing forms. Stative verbs do not have ing forms. I feel that he is an honest man. Okay, here feel, this has been used as stative verb because it shows the status, condition or quality of a person. Stative verb. So remember these examples: feel, look, have, weigh, mind and smell. These can be both action as well as stative verbs. Now my dear students, you should remember what is the structure, grammatical structure of a verb. It is subject plus verb plus object. The grammatical structure, this is the grammatical structure of a verb. What is the grammatical structure of a verb? Grammatical, you should remember this important point: subject plus verb plus object. What is subject? That works. Subject that works, जो काम करता है, that's called the subject, that acts as a subject in the sentence. And what is object? On which work is done, on which work is done, that's called object, that acts as an object in the sentence. And what is verb? Verb is the main part in a sentence, and a sentence cannot exist without a verb. Okay, so verb is the main part of a sentence and it cannot exist without a verb. Now let's move. Look here my dear students. Structure of a verb: subject plus verb plus object. What is subject? Somebody who does work is a subject in a sentence. Who does work is a subject in a sentence. For example, Henry writes a letter to his parents. Here Henry does work. What he does? He writes a letter to his parent. This is the subject. So somebody who does work is a subject in a sentence. As far as object is concerned, वो which work is done, जिस पे काम किया जा रहा है, that's called an object in a sentence. For example, Ram cracks plates in the hall. Cracks, here this acts as an object because Ram इस पे काम कर, subject is doing work on this, work is done on this. Okay, now a verb, I told you that is the main part of a sentence, and a sentence cannot exist without a verb. My dear students, verb can be main verb, linking verb or helping verb. Now let's move towards main verb. Look here my dear students. Main verb, it's an action verb, expresses an action that is either physical or mental. So physical activity or mental activity, that comes under the category of main verbs. For example, physical, here it describes movement that can be seen. Okay, for example, climb, go, dance, these are actually the processes, physical processes that can be seen, or in simple words, physical, these describes movements. And mental actions, it describes movement that cannot be seen, for example, think, feel, dream, imagine. These are all verbs. These come under the category of main verbs. For example, here, as far as the physical actions are concerned, I will give you some examples. We wash our hands. Here, wash, this refers to a physical activity. It describes movement. That's why this is a main verb. He is running in the playground. This is also a physical action. Therefore, this is a main verb. Ria is going to the market. This is a physical action. Therefore, this is a verb. As far as I have here told you that think, feel, dream, imagine, these all come under the category of main verbs. Here, I will give some examples. She thought good ideas. Thought, this is a mental action, thought. Therefore, this acts as a main verb here. He enjoys trips. Enjoys, this is a mental action. That's why this acts as a verb here. Main verb, main verb. Ria believed in herself. Believed is a mental action. Therefore, this comes under the category of main verb. So these physical actions, wash, running, going, and mental actions, mental activities or mental actions, thought, enjoy, believed, these all come under the category of main verbs. Now let's move towards linking verb. What are linking verbs? A linking verb connects the subject with a word that gives information about the subject. Linking verb connects the subject with a word, okay, that gives extra information about the subject. जो हमें extra information किसके बारे में देता है? Subject के बारे में. For example, it is cold. Here is acts as a linking verb. Why? Because cold is complement of it. What is a complement? My dear students, complement means a thing that contributes extra features or gives extra information to something else in such a way as to improve or emphasize its quality. जो हमें extra information देता है, that's called a complement. It is cold. Here, cold is a complement of it because it gives extra information of this. That's why is a linking verb. Okay. Now here, the food tastes delicious. Here, tastes is a linking verb because it gives extra information about the subject. Myra is beautiful. Here is, this is a linking verb. Tastes is a linking verb. He remains fruitful. Remains is a linking verb because the fruitful is complement of he. It gives extra information about he. So, remains is a linking verb. Okay. He is a doctor. Doctor. He is complement of, doctor is complement of he. Therefore, is a linking verb. Okay. So, in simple words, I will say you that linking verb connects subject with the word. Here, subject with the word that gives this subject with the word that gives extra information about the subject. Okay. Now, let's move towards helping verbs. Helping verbs are also called auxiliary verbs. These verbs help the main action verbs. Okay. For example, we play in the playground. Here, play is a main verb. But if we write it like this, we are playing in the playground. Here, my dear students, this is a helping verb. It is used before the main verb. Okay, these are also called auxiliary verbs. Another example, we should play in the playground. Play is a main verb, main action verb, okay. And helping verb has been used before it. Should is the helping verb. Helping verbs, these help the main action verb, okay. Now, here, helping verbs helps in the formation of tenses. I have made here a list of helping verbs: is, or, am, was, were, has, have, had, be, being, been, do, does, did, could, should, would, can, may, might, shall, will. These are all helping verbs, and helping verbs help in the formation of tenses. Here, my dear students, I will tell you two important points about helping these helping verbs and main verbs. Look here, my dear students, I will write down here a sentence. We should wash our hands. Here, this is a main verb. Wash is a main verb, and should, this is a helping verb. and helping verbs comes before main verbs. Okay. Another example, I have done my homework. Here done is a main verb and have it acts as a helping verb. I have a car. Here have acts as a main verb. Okay. So in simple words, I will say you that main verb shows possession or ownership. Ownership. They show ownership or possession. Okay, my dear student, this was all about verbs. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.